Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to crop images by creating an iOS plugin in Godot game engine. So let's get started. We will be using the Swift Godot library, and for cropping images we will be using something called TO crop view controller, which I will explain more about later on. So yeah, based on this particular documentation I have just created one cheat sheet, so that's what I will be following. Also, while capturing images I will be just opening the camera, capture one image, and I will be cropping that particular image. You can do the same thing while picking images from the Photos app as well. Like I have created a separate video on how to pick photos from Photos app. So with the help of that particular video and the cropping part from this video, you can use that particular logic as well. So in case if your requirement is just to pick photos from Photos app and not from camera. So yeah, let's get started. So first, as usual, you would need Xcode installed. So I have already installed it from the Apple App Store. So I'll just this was my previous project. So I have created one folder named Godot. You don't have to create it, but just to be on the safer side I have created it because there will be lot of folders at the end of this tutorial, so I don't want to get confused. So just open Xcode, click on File, New, Package, and here is select multi-platform, select library, click next again, and we'll just need to go to the Godot folder, and I will name it as my library. You can name it whatever you feel like, but do remember this name, as this name will be used in lot other places as well. If you're creating an iOS plugin for Godot for the very first time, it's better you follow what I'm doing. Now I will just click on create. Now at the time of me recording this video, Swift Godot still does not support Swift version 6, so I need to downgrade this to 5.10. Also make sure if you're watching this in the future, like long after I have published this video, it's better you check the Swift Godot repository, GitHub repository, just to check whether it supports Swift version 6 or not. Okay, then again, like I said, this is just a cheat sheet which I have created. So first we need to add this dependency block in package.swift. So if you go to the documentation, they also say the same thing. So we have already done this, we have already done this as well, and here you can see they are telling us to add the dependencies. So I will just add it after this products array, and you have to do command S, so it will automatically download the dependency for you using Swift package manager, as you can see on the left hand side. So we don't have to worry about it. Then we need to add this platform iOS version 17. So if I just scroll down, they have added it for macOS, but we'll just add it for iOS. Again, I'll just paste it over here. I have kept the minimum deployment to version 17 because I was facing issues on previous version as well. Then we just need to add this type dynamic as well. So here you can see after library name, so I'll just paste it over here. Then we need to add this dependencies array as well. So again, I'll just copy this. If you again scroll down, after target name we have to add this. So again, I'll just add a comma after this and I'll paste it over here. I'll just improve the indentation a bit. Okay, now we need to add one more dependency for crop view controller, and for that I will just cheat a little bit. I have already created a sample project for this, so from that I will just copy this. If you want, you can just search for this TO crop view controller from Tim Oliver. It gives you more guide on how to use this. So first again, we need to install this library, right? So first we need to add this particular code, so just add a comma after this and paste it over here. Again, do command S, and it will automatically download the dependencies for us. Now we need to use it inside Swift, so we need to add it over inside this dependency array as well, but there is a different way to add it. You will have to add it using something like this dot product name. So again, I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. Now let's go back to my library.swift file. Now here we'll have to write the actual code. Again, I'll just cheat a little bit. I have already written the code for this, so I'll just open this and I'll copy everything. I'll close both of these files, and now I will just come over here and I'll paste it over here. So I've imported UI kit, then I have imported Swift Godot as well. I have imported Photos UI. I don't think Photos UI is necessary. Oh, sorry, I messed it up. I think we are picking photos from the Photos app and not from the camera. Yeah, sorry about that, but I think it's more or less the same thing. If you want to pick it from a camera, that's also fine. It's up to you how you want to do it. So yeah, that's why I've imported Photos UI, and then we have imported crop view controller as well. Then this is boilerplate code which you have to write to satisfy Swift Godot. If you're seeing lot of errors on this particular file, it's okay. Like Swift Godot does not play nicely with Xcode. And again, this should be your own library name. Now here I have created one class called image crop manager, which extends crop view controller delegate. And here is our main class. We can't directly extend this particular delegate of crop view controller to our main class because Swift Godot does not like it and it will throw a lot of error. So here is our UI view controller which it takes, then three callbacks: on image cropped, on cropped cancel, and on error. And here we just initialize first our view controller. Then this is the crop image method which it takes, and it takes a UI image. So here we just initialize it, uh, configure our view controller. So this is how we configure our view controller. Again, this is present in the documentation. If you want, you can check it, the crop view controller documentation. And then just present our crop view controller, and based on this particular delegate we override two methods. One is this on cropped cancel. So if this is cropped is cancelled, we get this particular callback. But if it is cropped, then we first dismiss our crop view controller. We convert our UI image to our image data. Then we get hold of our file manager, and then we store that particular file, and then we send the file URL back to Godot side. Because sending an entire UI image, at least according to me, I don't know how to do it. Or maybe you can convert it to base 64, but I feel like this is a much better way according to me. So it's up to you how you want to do it. So yeah, then once the image has been written, we just pass the file URL to this on image cropped callback. In case of error, we just call the on error callback. Then here we create our main class which extends PHP view controller delegate as well. This is a signal which is used to send data from native iOS side to Godot side. Then here we create our image crop manager class variable. This I have this method which is annotated with @callable, uh, because we need to call this code from GD script side as well. Then here we get hold of our root view controller. Then here we just pass our root view controller to this image crop manager. Then we set up the crop manager callbacks as well. So here you can see for on image cropped, on cropped cancel, and on error. On image cropped, we just send the signal of the file URL back to Godot side. And here is our PH picker configuration for selecting an image. So here you can see filter by images, selection limit is 1. We just define our PH picker controller delegate itself, and here we just do root view controller dot present. And once the user has finished picking an image, we dismiss our Photos app. We get the result out of it. Then from that we get a UI image out of it. And once we have the UI image, we pass it to the crop image method of our crop manager. So yeah, that's it. Now let's see if I have missed anything from, yeah. So the next important step is, what I'll do is I'll just open the entire Godot folder which we have created inside VS Code, because we need, and I'll just paste my cheat sheet as well. Now inside this my library, I need to create a file called build.sh. You can create this file from Xcode as well. I'm just not comfortable using Xcode, that's why I'm using VS Code for this. Sorry about that. You can use whatever IDE you feel like. So here you can see I'm just creating a file called build.sh. Now for the contents of this file, you will have to go to this particular URL over here. So I'll just copy this and I'll open it inside a new tab. Then I'll just copy everything from this and I'll just paste it inside this build.sh file. Now here we'll have to make few changes. So first change is, this should be our own library name. So again, I'll just change it to my library, and here I will add this dash skip macro validation slash. Okay, I'll just paste it over here. I'll just do command dash to save it. Then we need to run few commands. So just go to your terminal, cd to your my library, and first you need to do this particular thing. So I'll just paste it over here, and the next thing is this particular thing. Now I'm not planning to deploy this app to Apple App Store, so I can just generate the debug framework. But in your case, if you're planning to do it, you will have to generate release framework as well. You just have to replace the word debug with release, but for me debug is fine, so I'll just run it. Now this will take a bit of time to run. In the meantime, just open Godot game engine. At the time of recording this, I'm using Godot 4.4.0. So we just have to create a new project. I'll just again browse to the Godot folder which I have created. Here I'll just select this and I'll name it as my Godot project, and I'll click on create. I'll click on project, I'll click on export, I'll click on add, I'll click on iOS, I'll click on fix import. Now here you have to enter your App Store team ID. I'll enter mine offline, but make sure you enter it now only. To get your App Store team ID, you can go to this particular URL which will guide you on how to get your App Store team ID. And here scroll down and we'll have to enter our bundle identifier. So I'll just enter nobody dot my awesome app. Typically it is your company name dot, so com dot your company name dot your app name. I enter something like this. I'll close. Then I'll create a 2D scene. I'll just command S to save it. I'll click on save. Then I'll just create one button to pick an image from the Photos app. Okay, so here is our button, and I'll also create one texture rect as well. Okay, so here is our texture rect. I'll just give our button some name, so pick photo, something like this. Okay, I'll just do command S to save it. Then I will attach one script to this as well. And firstly I'll go to our button, I'll go to node and I'll add the press signal. Then I will also get hold of our texture rect, what do we call it, variable. So yeah, then again I'll just cheat a little bit. I'll just go back to my old project which has all the code written inside it. So I'll just copy most of it. So first we have to create this variable called my library, which is used to initialize our library. So I'll just paste it over here. Then here inside this ready, again I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. So here you can see we have initializing our my library over here as well as over here, and this is our signal. Again you should change it to your own library name if you have given it some different name. And this is the signal which we are connecting it to. Then here once we get the signal, so we have to do couple of things. So I'll just again paste it over here. So here you can see we get the data. So we have to first create an image, then we try to load that data inside our image. If it is okay, then we create a texture rect and try to display that image inside our texture rect. Okay, and on button click we have to use this particular bit of code. Again I'll just close all this and I'll paste it over here. Now we need to create few folders. So first we need to create a bin folder. So I'll just go to my Godot project. So go to Godot folder, my Godot project, and here I'll just create a one bin folder. And inside that bin folder we need to create this particular file. Again it should be your own library name .gd extension. So I'll just, here you can see my Godot project is open from VS Code as well. So inside the bin folder I'll just create it. Like creating this kind of file from Godot game engine is little bit tough according to me. I don't know how to do it. And if I try to open this as well, here you can see I'm trying to click on it, it's not opening for me. I don't know why. That's why I'm using VS Code for this. And inside that you will have to paste this bit of code. So again I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. So I'll just do a command S. Also we will create one more folder, name iOS. You can name it whatever you feel like, because all the exported, we need to export a project from Godot game engine, so all the exported file will be inside this iOS folder, just to avoid confusion. Also I will just run this so that my root scene is selected, otherwise again I'll face issues if I try to directly export it. Okay, yeah, and we'll have to go to our terminal. So here you can see it has finished building our project. So what you'll have to do, go to your library, go to bin, go to iOS, and you'll have to copy this to .framework folders. Go back, go to my Godot project, go to bin, and just paste it over here. So this .uid file is created by Godot game engine. So this is a new thing from Godot 4.4.0. So don't worry too much about it. Next thing is just come back to Godot game engine and just make sure you have saved your project. Then go to project, export, just click on export project. and here I will just do navigate to the iOS folder and click on save. Now this will take a bit of time, so yeah, let's be patient. Project was exported successfully. Then you will have to go to the iOS folder and double click on this .xcode proj file. It will open it for you in Xcode, and here just make sure go to supporting files, go click on this, and here you will require this photo library usage description because we are picking photos from the Photos app. If you are using camera usage description, you would require this. Now these permissions are by default present at least till Godot 4.4. I don't know, they might remove it in the future, so just be careful. And here you will have to explain why you require this permission. I'll just keep short, but make sure you give some proper description over here, otherwise your app might get rejected as well. Okay, so I'll just run my application. Also, while running your application, you will have to run it on a real device. You cannot run it on a simulator. And there's meanwhile it is running, let me just mirror my device. Give me a second. Okay, I think I just lost the connection. Okay, yeah, it is still building. Okay, one more thing which I've like my the meantime it is building. One more thing which I want. Okay, I think I lost. Okay, yeah, one more thing which I wanted to tell you is regarding this particular file mylibrary.gd extension. If you have generated release frameworks, you will have to replace release over here as well as over here. So yeah, be mindful of that. And also while exporting the project, so if you click on export, you will have to uncheck this export with debug as well. But yeah, for us this is fine. Yeah, this is taking a bit of time to load. Okay, just give me a second. Yeah, okay, so here is our output. So I'll just click on pick photo, and here you can see this is the, so I'll just select this particular flowers images, and here you can see it has automatically opened the crop view controller for us. And you here you can crop it however you feel like. You can rotate it as well. And I don't know what this is. I think this is what resizing as well. So yeah, it's up to you how you want to do it. Again, I'll just uh, crop it even further, and then you can just click on this. If you want to rotate, you can rotate it as well. I'll keep it as it is, and I'll just click on this checkbox, this tick icon, and here you can see we have our image. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.